Hey, good afternoon. Good morning if you're on the West Coast. How you doing? How you guys taking in all these new reports? Right? Hope everyone's well. We got a lot to talk about and try to keep it condensed. Maybe a good hour 15-ish, hour and 30. We'll see. Shouldn't be a long show, but we got a two-part theory today. All right. So the drones and what it's leading to, or what it possibly could be leading to. And what it's leading to could be two situations of the same, I guess, same issue, right? We don't really know what's going on. We're not entirely sure on how to handle it. We've heard everything from Iranian motherships off the East Coast. We've heard that there's no foreign interference. Now we're hearing there's some type of foreign interference. They're asking us to not shoot them down. America. And nobody really knows what's going on because no one's really saying anything other than cryptic little messages in the media that spark wildfires. Now, what are we here for? We're here to try at least try to figure this out. Now, before I get into this, let me check my systems because you already know how this goes. Get on here and been talking to myself the whole time. Can't even hear me. Don't even know why. I just got to make sure. Just how it is, guys. Just how it is. All right, YouTube's fine. I'm checking, guys. Let me check my Rumble. That's the one I. YouTube and Rumble are the ones I really tend to care about. Like, I'm not too much upset if Facebook doesn't work because Facebook has its moment when it doesn't like me, and that's pretty common. Um, but I am on the Daily Rabbit Hole and the Deep State Talk Show, so I am on both. So if one feed goes out, you'll still be able to catch me. Check, check. All right, I'm good. We're good. All right, we're good. Anything happens, it is what it is. I'm not gonna make a huge deal with it. We are on here. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna go from there. All right. Now, New Jersey drone incident. Whole lot of speculation right now. I got plenty of clips. I got plenty of thoughts. I got plenty of ideas of how this could go. Now, in the last few weeks, we've had a number of drone sightings. Whole lot. We're talking car sized to basketball size. You know, the standard size of a little drone. Now, drones aren't uncommon. Walmart flies their drones. Amazon flies their drones for delivery also, right? So drones in the air ain't really something that's unheard of. It's not new. It's not exactly, oh, shocking. Awe. That's not what people are talking about. Right now, there are multiple sightings all over America at night where drones are basically either just hovering or they're kind of in formation, little square formation you see. I got that video also. So you have to understand that there are many reasons drones could be in the air. We're talking regular people playing a joke, coordinated joke. We're talking about contractors. We're talking about, I mean, photographers is in that category of a contractor. So photographers, people who use aerial drones to get good images of concerts and events and stuff going downtown. Police use drones right now. Please don't act like they don't. They do. I don't know why everyone's so weird about it, but certain units in America have access to drones and know how to use drones. This is nothing uncommon. What makes a lot of this uncommon is just the fact that our government and our leadership are hush hush while the speculation runs rampant. And while speculation runs rampant, all it's doing is creating more fear and confusion because in the last week, we've had the United Healthcare CEO die. I don't say unalive, but It was this weird situation with Mangiano, whatever his name is, Mangini, and you would wonder if this is another distraction. This is all I'm really getting to with this. Now, the UAP hearings happened a couple weeks ago, also, which I find that to be very funny that it's right on time with this. Now, I'm not saying that it's connected. I just say that you had the UAP hearing. You explained that we don't really know what's out there, but the government does know. But then when the drones go in the sky, we don't have any explanation for it. And it's kind of strange because our airspace is our airspace. Like, we know people fly drones. You got to register them with the FAA. That's already known. That's not anything new. We know drones have lights on it. You can take pictures. You can do a lot with drones. What makes this just strange is that there's something called Project Bluebeam and Operation Blackjack. These are two different theories, two different, but they almost play into each other. Now, these drones, honestly, could be government. And I'm thinking it is because no one's panicking. If you've noticed, no one's really like, there's no sense of urgency to stop this. Otherwise, we'd have got a message a long time ago saying that it's foreign and it's foreign interference. That's just my opinion. I mean, yeah, can we trust the deep state? Absolutely the fuck not. But in some instances, I mean, don't you think they would have said something if it was really foreign interference? They haven't, and they're not saying anything. And it's coming off as very, very curious for the certain reason of we have all these migrants here. People have been talking about nuclear weapons being used or a dirty bomb being found on the Jersey coast. These are kind of the things being thought of right now. And I don't know who's putting it out, but I don't have any evidence on anything like that. So I'm not on the inside to tell you if there's some type of nuclear device floating around or they're surveying us. Me personally, most of the time when the videos that I see these drones, they're hovering over particular areas for particular times. My understanding would be that they're maybe surveying and looking around. Now, do they have not drug sniffing drones, but nuclear detecting drones? Sure, I could believe that. Is there someone running around possibly with a device or some type of IED? That's possible. Now, what is also very possible with these drones is that they're in the chance that it is us. This is another psyop. And you're going to be like, why is this another psyop? See, they like to put stuff out in videos and commercials as marketing, especially in the military. Now, I once shared a video from the 4th PSYOP Division in North Carolina, and it was called The Ghost in the Machine, where they basically explained that they create the PSYOPs and they move in places that they can't move, whether it's TV, radio, internet, anything like that. Dope recruiting commercial, though. I'm not going to lie. If I was a young kid and I was impressionable, I'd have jumped on that. But I have something from the Navy that was displayed during the Army-Navy game this past week as their recruitment video and what the Navy does with drones. Why is this important? Because I just mentioned the whole idea of an Iranian mothership off the Atlantic, and they're saying the drones came off the water or out the water. However you want to list that, however you want to say that, out or in, whatever, it came from the water. Same as they said with the UAPs when they mentioned, hey, the UAPs are coming out of the water. They're not coming out of the sky. Now you're noticing the trend here, all right? There's a connection between something coming out of the water in a hearing and something coming out of the water the last 2 weeks that look like drones. Again, there are so many theories to this that we really don't know what to believe. But I got video of all of this drone stuff. We're going to look over it. I pieced a lot of the videos together. I really didn't want to just take time and line them up and all that like I always do. So I just pieced it together and we'll stop and click through it or whatever. But I got footage and also the sounds that were heard through the radio on the Christmas network of every radio station. Not saying it's true, just footage, stuff I've picked out of Telegram and other platforms. I got footage of Chinese drones and what they look like and how they maneuver. I just want you guys to understand that we have to take everything with a grain of salt and move from there. Make sense? Makes sense. All right. A second. All right. That's the Navy's commercial for their drone program and the demonstration or just recruitment, right? Nothing. Absolutely means nothing, right? But remember what they've been saying in the media. Remember what they've been telling us all the whole time. Stuff coming out of the water. Okay? Stuff coming out of the water. The Navy's on the water. This is why I say the UAP reports. If the Navy has been saying that it was coming out of the water, I would slightly assume that the Navy knows what the hell it was talking about because the Navy's on the water. The drones are a part of the Navy program. We know they're using drones in the Ukraine conflict on both sides. We know that Israel has drones. We know Russia has drones. We know North Korea has drones. We know everybody has drones. All right. So acting like a drone program isn't a big deal is a kind of a big deal if you don't know where the drones are coming from. And for them to tell us that, they're not able to detect all of them or this and that, which is weird because you're watching us 24/7. So I find it strange how you can't detect this damn drone, but you can monitor the people 24/7. I call BS. I actually think at this point that the drones are for us. I always will assume it's a psyop first because it's really hard to trust what we've been dealing with over the last century. And I'm only 39 years old, but I know better. And I'm not saying everything is a conspiracy. I'm saying at most instances, our government is somewhere aligned with it or involved with it. It's hard to understand for some people, and sure. Why would they use drones to monitor us? The theory is we're in a police state. It's a huge possibility, right? Huge possibility. The other theory is that blue beam, of course, right? They're gonna sit here and simulate it and fake it and scare us into being united, right? Or coordinated attacks. It ain't many options right now. But the fact that there are drones everywhere and people are seeing it, again, someone's putting the drones up. We're trying to figure out why. There are too many clues as to why this could be happening. There are too many reasons to assume that there is someone inside of our country working against us. We cannot see everything. I assure you, if you do, you will not survive it. What I'm saying is we don't actually know who's to blame other than the people in charge of our country. If it's from people who have walked through the border with their own equipment or they had equipment dropped to them or airdropped to them, which I got a weird story about airdrops that I've seen on the road when I was driving around America. All right. So what I'm saying is in the event that this is us, it is against us and it is not in our favor. Now, if you believe the whole MAGA idea and that this is them surveying and doing what they're doing, I'm not going to argue with that psyop, but do know it's a psyop still. Okay? Just because you don't believe it doesn't make it less of a psyop. That's all I'm trying to go. That's all I'm trying to say. So we don't really know. But Project Bluebeam seems real likely right now. But I don't know which one comes first. The instability inside of America, then Bluebeam, or Bluebeam, and then some type of global incident to where it forces us to unite. But if I'm looking through my articles, and I got Operation Blackjack up for this conversation also, because there's some parts of it I want to explain why I think this, why I said coordinated attacks. There's a reason I'm saying this because this article that I have is from 2009. Project Bluebeam is older than that. Project Bluebeam is about, if I'm clocking it, my understanding, Bluebeam is about 50 to 60 years old. The idea or the theory of it. All right. It's all tied into the whole NASA moon landing thing and the whole setup for all of this, right? Because some of us in the holes we've been in, we understand, we've heard Earth is flat and you can't get out from up. You have to go through the water. Again, think about it. This conversation of not being able to get out of the firmament and you have to go through the water has been here a very, very long time. There's something that they're trying to tell us, and that's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. Now, what they're trying to tell us, I'm not too entirely damn sure. I'm not. What I understand about this is that someone knows, and it may be against us, because if you pay attention to how our luck has been formed here in America, typically the stuff that they're giving us isn't for us. It's used against us. So I have to use that thought process. So when we talk about Bluebeam being around since they did the NASA moon landing, quote unquote, even though Stanley Kubrick was in, that's a whole other conversation, guys. Kubrick, the moon landing, it plays into this Bluebeam, right? All right. The coordinated attacks and the instability in America seems like it's first up. All right. With these drones, it could be just the psyop to get us to be unstable. Don't shoot them out of the air, but protect yourself. Because as soon as you shoot it out of the air, and I've seen videos of people saying they're shooting drones out of the air, and I just seen a report of someone going to jail for flying a drone by the airport. Also, I do want to say this. Now, about 2 weeks ago, there was a report about a Chinese gentleman or Thai gentleman caught selling weapons and guns to the Chinese, a Chinese selling guns to the North Koreans. All right. Listen, what they found with him was very interesting. They found a big box, like the box you ever seen on Red Dawn, the new one, the communication box. It was like a Wi-Fi broadband communication box. It looked just like that one. They also stated they found drones with him, and he was selling them to North Korea or China, one of the two, right? Think about this. This is 2 weeks ago before we really start seeing these reports pop up. And the drones in the air have been there for some time. I got another video that I had shared. This is a while back, right? This video I'm about to share now is one that it was on Twitter, on Donald Trump News, one of the parody sites, right? And this is in Homestead, Florida. People were saying drones then, and it was funny because it either was halo jumpers or drones, because UFOs, whatever. Orbs in the sky, some of these things can manipulate the light around them. That's real technology, all right? The idea that you guys are saying that there are drones and they're filming the orbs and the drones may be the same thing. Just look at this video. Pause. Now look at that. Now to the untrained eye, you're gonna assume a UAP. I don't care what no one says. To the untrained eye, to my eye, I'm still gonna say an airdrop of drones. I don't care. That's what it looked like. I'm gonna be honest. Just so you can see, that's my opinion. It could be halo jumpers. Me personally, they were in formation. They let hands go. They could be halo jumpers, pulling shoots, playing around in the sky. I'm not going to sit here and act like that's not a possibility, because that's what they said that was happening. Those were halo jumpers. Other people said they were drones. What I'm saying is, you can't decipher what that is from a distance. I don't care who you are. You're going to need a helicopter to get up on it or a drone. And the fact that in certain videos that I've seen, they had a helicopter following the drone. So if you have a helicopter following the drone and you still don't know what it is, I assume you're complicit. That's just a spectacle. It's a drone. If it's a drone, whose drone? I'm not finna sit here and act like they're not spying on us. They're allegedly able to see all the way in space, even though I think that one's horseshit too. But I always find it strange how there's never any definitive video evidence that they're going to show us. It all always looks scripted. Like, we got the best technology. DARPA is a thing, but we never get good footage of UAPs, UFOs, or aliens. We got drones all in the sky. All of a sudden, nobody knows nothing. But then speculation comes out. Donald Trump comes out and say, I don't know what's going on. We need to look into it. And people go straight off into QAnon with that. You got other people who don't really know what a UFO, a UAP actually stand for. And then you got others who are like, yep, drones. So we don't know. This is the speculation going out. And I'm going to be honest with you. I honestly think it's our leadership. I've told you, I think the government is flying fake UFOs in the sky. Go back and look in 1985 when they had the stealth bomber. They thought it was a UFO until they had to come out and say something. And when they said something, they had the plane for 10 years before they said something. 10 years. And this is out of Area 51. So always know, if you're seeing something in the sky, it's a huge, huge possibility it's us. Huge possibility it's us. I'm just going to keep it so honest with you. I don't know anywhere to put it. It's possibility that's us. Now, do they know about UAPs and UFOs? Yeah, I believe they made a deal with them. I can say that out loud right now. Humans for technology. Why? Because they're those kind of people. Let's just cut it a buck. Let's not act like our leadership wouldn't sell us out for technology, okay? These people sell us out now for taxes and orgies. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Do they not sell us out for the trivial of items, trinkets, illusion of power? Yeah, sure, some of them have power, but that illusion lasts for so long. Ask Jay-Z and Diddy. Shit, at this point, you better wonder why LeBron James walked off the Lakers. That's a whole other issue, and that's not what we're going to get into today. But what I'm saying is, these people will sell themselves out for anything. So what if interdimensional beings are actually a real thing, do you think they're going to do the right thing in our favor? No, they're going to sell us out. If you go back and watch the movie Red Dawn, ask yourself how they got over there, how they make it that far and no one said nothing. Think about that. Just think about it. When you watch all these old war movies, always think about with Red Dawn. It's a good chance America sold us out. It's a good chance they defaulted on their loans and went to the highest bidder. And if you can take it, you can take it. Right now, we are in a very vulnerable situation as Americans with leadership transitioning. Trump basically going on the air like my comments are reading and saying he doesn't know what they're doing and you need to look into the government. He's just spewing the speculation and it makes it worse. I'm at least trying to tell you that there's a couple possibilities of what this could be, and you may want to start prompting yourself to get ready. I think Blue Beam is a real thing because there's no other way to unite us other than showing us Jesus and aliens. That's the only way you're going to unite us. And still then, we may not do it just because of this situation and people like me. Because as soon as I assure you, as soon as it happens, I'm going live and I'm going to be like, I swear to God, it's Blue Beam. I promise to you. All right. Now I got a little bit more content. I got the like I said, I got the other videos pieced together. I want to show that. No, that's not what I was looking for. Where is it? Here we go. All right, here we go, guys. Give me a second too. Hold on. Let me adjust this because I wanted to make it full screen. So let me do this real quick. That's all right. All right, so let me help you out with something. In Mobile, Alabama, when you're driving 65 south through the county, you're coming down, you're under the city, right? Because we're on the water. So Austell is located in southern Mobile by the airport. So if you're driving south and you're up, it's right. This is right there where that gentleman was talking about. All right. So these are two different people for my area seeing the drones, just so I can let it be known that possibly have an issue out here too. It's not just New Jersey. It's not just the East Coast people. It's apparently everywhere. And to be honest, you can manufacture drones really fast. They're small and they're made of spare parts. To be quite honest, they're not made from the best parts. They're made by the lowest bidder. So it's not hard to mass manufacture drones, get them up all at once, and then have them go out everywhere. That's not as hard as you think it is. That's actually fairly easy to coordinate if you knew what you were doing. All right. So I say that to give this video context in Mobile, Alabama, and this is the same time frame that they're going on in New Jersey. All right. So even down here, there's there's a bread trail or breadcrumb trail. Excuse me. There's a trail of crumbs. Right. This is what we always talk about in little stories. You follow the breadcrumbs to the truth. All right. This is one of the breadcrumbs. Mobile, Alabama is a very small city, about 200, shy of 200,000. All right. This isn't normal for us. You don't hear a lot of stuff coming out from here other than Mardi Gras, some crime, fishing, and our ports, which I find funny. Austell, if you don't know what Austell is a plane manufacturer. Actually, excuse me, that's Airbus. Austell's a war manufacturer. Austell builds ships. All right. This is important to think about right now. Austell builds ships. All right. All right. More video. All right. My next video, before we get into that, Mobile, Alabama, again, is a very blue collar city. We're a war manufacturer. We're a major port. We're industrial. We're not big wig, white collar crimes, even though they happen here, but that's not really our forte. All right. We're not a major city. We're just a city, very, very old city. Right. So when you see drones flying at Austell, it made me question, okay, so maybe this might be more military than anything. Excuse me, maybe this is more surveying your surroundings because I can almost say every city with drones is also the same cities with migrants. Oh, we got them down here too. See, they did it quietly in Alabama. See, they didn't just drop them off and make a spectacle of us because that would have went horribly wrong. What they did was they dropped them off in little towns and cities like Mobile, and Birmingham, and Huntsville, and Montgomery, Sylacauga, Alabama, Enterprise, little small towns, little small cities. Small pieces, but see, they bust them into us. Some of them stay in the city, some of them live in the hotels downtown. And if you think I'm bullshitting, you're more than welcome to walk around downtown. Now, what I find also very curious about Mobile's incident with drones is this, and I'm piecing something together with you. How many of you guys have had military walking around your city more often lately? Because in my city, I notice there's an influx of army walking around downtown. And if you understand downtown, you understand Austin's downtown. Airbus is by the airport. That's what I was thinking of. But we had a lot of Army Guard walking around our city. It's not really common. Sure, they could be here for training. I'm not stupid. I'm prior military. I get it. TDY, stay in a nice hotel, get that kickback. But at the same time they're here, we're having this drone thing too. And I can put two and two together. Just me. So these drones understand. Now, this next video, this is different. This doesn't look like a drone. This looks like something playing around with its own light or bending its own light. Flares, could be sparklers. I don't honestly know, but this is the footage that's floating around right now. So I definitely want to get this out because like I said, I'm going into other topics. This is Bluebeam. All right. Check this out. If that's a drone, that's the most advanced shit I've ever seen in my life. Listen, I made a statement about a movie, Spider-Man Far From Home. When Mysterio was in, and I think they were in Italy. I always say Italy, Rome. When they were in Rome, he attacked, right? And the drones look like they could create an illusion, is what I'm saying, right? They could create holograms, but the drones were destroying things, making it look like the hologram was destroying things. They played an optical illusion and then made it look like it was some type of interdimensional alien attack. But it was just, and really, here's the funny thing. In the whole time, it was really just some rich dude with a whole lot of technology playing a sick joke to make Spider-Man look bad. Think about that. The whole point of this is that at the end of every investigation of mystery, like even in Scooby-Doo, when you take the mask off the big scary monster, it's really the person you thought you never would have thought of. It's like the sheriff or the CEO or the dude who called them. This is the same situation in this movie, Far From Home, predictive programming, where it was just some rich guy playing like he was a superhero so he could be a part of it and all this and get back at Tony Stark. I lie to you not. That's literally the whole synopsis to that movie. I just gave you the whole script in 10 minutes, not even 10. So when I see drones floating around like this, I instantly assume Project Bluebeam is in effect, and maybe this is that. Maybe we're going further. I honestly don't know. What I do know is it's weird and they're doing something. What they're doing, fucking with us, scaring us to death. They're good at that. Cause confusion, distractions, get us riled up. Some people say they're trying to cover up and distract us from all the CEOs going down. Some people are saying, like I said, Bluebeam. Some people are saying whoop-de-woo and whoop-de-woo. I still got more content. Here we go. To be fair, that could be a plane. All right. I'm just going to be honest. I'm not going to say it's a drone. I'm just saying this is evidence. Not evidence, but here's some footage. It could be a plane. I'm no aviation specialist, but putting out what I'm finding. It kind of looks like a plane. Is it a plane? It's an aerial device. It's an aerial something. It looks like a plane to me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Looks like a plane. So for me, I'm not gonna say this is conclusive evidence. I'm saying it's footage, but I'm not gonna say it's evidence. All right. All right. Here's the weird part of this. Here's why I think it's blue beam again. All right. So apparently, this isn't the only video. I got like 2 videos. I think it's the same area, but what's happening from other videos I saw, apparently on FM networks, on the Christmas network, when the drone showed up, you could hear gargling or growling. Does that mean anything? No, because you don't know who's putting that sound in. As you guys watch me, I can install sounds. Thank you. Thank you. I can do a lot of things from where I'm at. I can get my phone, hook it up, play sound in the background. I can do anything. So I'm not going to sit here and say, again, this is evidence, but I am going to say, has anyone else had this issue? See, I didn't notice this, but now that I'm hip, I take my ham radios and put it on the FM network, or I'll take my little wind up, my little crank radio and put it on a Christmas network and listen and see if that is a thing. That's how you debunk stuff, guys. So don't judge me with my tinfoil hat. Look, you got to debunk stuff, right? So for me, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to debunk it. So, hey, don't you judge me. Okay. So I tried it. I didn't hear anything. Heard a lot of good Christmas songs I haven't heard in a while. But, hey, I didn't hear it. But right now, what the video is going to have is when the drones were flying over in New Jersey, they were disturbing the frequency. And most radio is long band, right? It's not short band. It's long band, slow waves. All right. So whatever it was interfered. I don't know how true this is. Again, this could all be fake. That's all I'm gonna say. Now that sounds like someone being slowed down and they're saying something. Now I saw another video like that where the dude actually like took the audio clip and sped it up and someone talking. So again, I'm not sure how real this is. I'm not sure entirely if this is all conclusive footage. What I'm saying is that in the event that they're gonna try something, if you believe that this is how they're gonna do it, then I mean, it's kind of coming off that way. That's what they're showing us. I'm not saying it's gonna be an alien invasion. I'm not saying Jesus isn't coming back for you people who believe that. What I'm saying is in the event that those 2 events do happen, I assure you, Jesus had way more reasons to come back 400 to 500 and 2,000 years ago as to just to show up now. And I'm not saying he doesn't care. What I'm saying is, in the event that they give us something, it's going to be by them. As much as you don't want to believe the technology is that good, drones are very advanced right now. I don't know if you're paying attention to the conflict in Ukraine and overseas, but those drones are a lot different than the drones we're seeing. Those drones attack people overseas. These drones are just surveying right now for the time being. Now, if they are looking for nuclear waste or some type of trail of a dirty bomb, then sure, so be it. Maybe not alert the people and you don't want to scare the shit out of them. But I'm gonna be honest, I just got a feeling this is gonna go left. And I can't say how. I just have my theories and my assumptions. I just assume this though. I do know that whatever they're doing, it's it's gonna continue. It's not gonna stop anytime soon. All right. Hold on. Is my sound out? I'm gonna be so upset. I surely don't hear myself right now. I just something told me to check it, guys. Sorry. I surely don't hear myself right now. I just something told me to check it, guys. Sorry. I don't know if that's all right. Hopefully my sound didn't go out. That would be so lame if it did. So I'm just checking right now. I'm sorry, guys. I couldn't hear the video, and I know the video had sound. So that was my thing. In the event. Sorry. Yep, it did. Now that sounds like someone being slowed down and they're saying something. Yep, it did. All right, sorry about that, guys. It went out on certain parts of my video. This is what we're gonna do. Okay, so now it's not working. All right, technical difficulties, guys. Sorry. Let me try to exit out and come back. So my sound went out on certain videos. It did not come through. I'm not entirely sure why, but all right, guys, that was the sound I was talking about. Sorry about that. So I don't know. Sometimes my sound bounces in and out when I'm bouncing between clips. That's my bad, guys. Anywho, a lot of this is speculation. A lot of this isn't really evidence of something sinister going on. It is evidence that there is something going on, and it doesn't say where it's coming from. Again, we're hearing foreign, we're hearing non foreign, we're hearing interdimensional. We're hearing UAPs, orbs. It's a lot of stuff. I'm just going to say this. In the event that it is blue beam, I need you guys to understand what that really means. That really means that this is the New World Order's agenda. This is why 2030 is a thing. This is why all of this is taking place. This is why everything seems like it's spiraling out of control. The system is coming down for you people who understand, the gematria and the spiritual side and the symbolism. You guys know that this has been a long time coming. Allegedly, the powers to be, the deep state, the NWO, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, it's coming to an end. What I think it is just a new system or a rebrand. The Roman Empire never disappeared. It just became the Vatican. A lot of places haven't disappeared. They just rebranded into something new. This is why I always make the comment of not wanting my oppression repackaged to me, because in a lot of instances, they just rebrand. Like the Rothschilds, I assume that's not their real name. Rothschild stands for the Red Shield. And everywhere they went, they had a red shield somewhere with the little ugly bird on it. So for me, the symbolism is always there, but the names change. And the agendas change too, but we think they're just policies and stuff. No, these people are trying something right now. I don't know who these people are. Could be migrants, could be our leadership, could be outside military. It could be a lot of things. It could just be a bunch of kids playing sick jokes. Nonetheless, people are seeing stuff. Do they know what they're looking at? Absolutely the hell not. It's not even possible. We're all making assumptions unless you're a drone specialist or you just really know what you're doing. All right. So keep that in mind. Take it with a grain of salt. Now, the other half of this conversation outside of Blue Beam, in the event that this is some type of outside interference from humans, people, we're in trouble, and this could be the precursor to some bigger event in America. Why do I think that? Look at what's gone on with migrations around the world. And I'm not going to call them, just say the immigrants, but migration patterns and how all the NATO countries have taken in asylum seeking people. But a lot of these people aren't exactly who you think they are. A lot of these people are not good people. Yes, there are good families amongst those groups trying to find an honest life. Those aren't the people I'm talking about. And we know those are the people I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the ones that we know for a fact have some beef with America or some objective or mission inside of our country. This is nothing new. All right. When you look at our border, we had so much going on. We had all kinds of ethnicities coming through. Some of them were all military age male, no women. Excuse me, no women at all, no children. That's all I'm saying. In the event that this is true, then there could be an issue or instance where we've let in the enemy. Now, I have some footage of Chinese drones that I wanted you guys to see. And why I want you to see a Chinese drone swarm, because one, it was really cool. And two, think about what they look like. You can hear them. They're small, they're fast, but they're noisy. All right. Put your eyes on these and let me know. Hopefully you can hear it. All right. So the sound didn't play on that one either. So we're gonna have to adjust this format. But nonetheless, those are what the drones look like. All right. All right. So the sound didn't play on that one either. So sorry. The sound didn't play on that one either, but that's what the drones look like. Nonetheless, In the event that this is someone else and there's some type of interference, right? Imagine, if you will, the event that, there's some type of coordinated attack. Why am I speaking of that? This is the second half of my conversation. All right. Second half of my conversation was going to be blackjack and how it was a coalition of homegrown extremists, Islamists, and Christians. Doomsday cultists may have acquired the means to carry out a mass casualty attack. All right. This is one of those continuations, right? So what happens is the UK government decided to put I guess a theory or a simulation, say a mock simulation in the newspaper, basically showing when there would be a coordinated attack against different parts of the world, from Europe to America, Mexico. It was a coordinated attack, and then there was a coup d'etat attempted, only to be found out that it was actually elected officials from within America and the parliament that attempted this. And this is called Operation Blackjack. One of the dopest theories that I've ever found on the internet, because this came out in 2009, right? And in 2009, this was in the paper. It was a mock simulation of a coordinated attack. I find it real interesting, right? So this is like previously on Blackjack, says New York City, everywhere was hit. New York, DC, Toronto, Mexico City, Portland, Los Angeles. And like 1 week later, they were recovering. This is the map it shows, but it's a mock simulation of a coordinated attack carried out by our own elected officials. You think I'm BSing, right? I'm not at all, right? Look at this. So in one of these scenes, this is part 3, right? They have a part where it says it's time for phase 2. This has exceeded our wildest expectation, right? So you see, this is all the fallout from the areas where it happened at, right? Fallout, somebody conspiring, right? Citizens of the UNA, United Nations of America, or the United something of America. I forget what it was. Your government is moving quickly to restore order and punish the masterminds behind the June 22nd attacks. All right. Always notice the blue helmets. That's on purpose. This is pure predictive programming right now. So they show my fellow citizens, and they do the whole talk and the whole spiel, right? And they show you that clearly our leadership is being compromised by some hidden faction, right? And then they say a lot of these attacks, they're going to authorize attacks against Iran, Syria, and China. You know what's funny? What just happened in Syria? Think about it. So basically what happened in this comic is that they're saying they blame Iran, Syria, and China, which gave them a reason to launch weapons at them, right? Syria just collapsed, guys. We're in major conflict with Iran right now and backing the Israelis. Trump is coming in with the steel-toe boot to Iran. Syria already collapsed, and China's on the board too with Thailand. So understand that this is 2009. 2009. Listen to this. In our homeland, we are moving against the many thousands of people who collaborated in these evil plots. They will be held in special containment facilities across the UNA. Many hundreds have already been apprehended or are currently in transit to these facilities. These are FEMA camps. This is 2009. This is in a comic book. This is a mock simulation of a coordinated attack around the world. June 22nd. It doesn't give the year, and the story itself is just 2009. Also, the new capital for the UNA is in Denver, Colorado. Listen to what I'm saying, guys. What is known in Denver, Colorado? Everyone has heard about the Freemasonry airports, all the weird stuff, the tunnels. Listen, I don't want to sound like a crazy man right now, but what I'm saying is that there has been a heap of predictive programming put out about the situation that we're coming up on right now. Whether it's Blue Beam or Blackjack, I'm telling you now, the deep state is going to be the ones behind it, because they're the ones behind it in this story. They're telling on themselves. They already... Listen, there's a lot of things that happened in 2009. 2008 was the collapse of the market after the whole Iraq and war, and they robbed us on Wall Street. Then they bailed them out in 2009. Bitcoin was created in 2009. A lot of these conspiracies that we're talking about now really started surfacing about 2009, 2010, as the growth of YouTube really took off. This is in the UK Telegraph, 2009, a mock simulation coordinated with America, because you got to understand, America knew this was in here. Okay. In the meantime, I ask you to abide by the state of emergency that exists across our nation: Denver, Manchester, Tijuana, Dublin, Montreal. And we secure our homeland and punish those responsible. Our debts have been forgiven, and our country has reopened for business. Our debts have been forgiven. How other way could they get their debts forgiven if there was some mass coordinated attack that they had to pool resources together and allegedly fight back? Think about it, guys. How much debt are we in right now? I don't want to sound like the crazy guy, but what I'm saying is the deep state has an objective and a motive. Think about that. And this flag, God bless you, God bless the Union of North American, the Union of North American. It was new union. So this event happened and they switched up everything, right? Now, they go into all of this basically showing, how, America falls apart, how the new flag is flown. They end up going to Denver, Colorado. Strange, right? Okay. Now, how this plays out is insane, because unelected, a new president issues a new constitution and declares martial law. Here's the theory of the last president right here. The dude who is in charge is unelected, and he's issued a new constitution, declares martial law. And this is 1 year earlier. So this is before all of it happened. So this is like the recap. There's a chip involved. 2009, they were talking about chipping people in a mock simulation. What are we talking about now? Neuralink has implanted a chip in people's heads, guys. Listen, I swear to you, I'm about to come off real Alex Jones-ish right now and get the spouting off like a fucking madman. Because what I'm telling you now, this is 2009. Listen, just let me read this to you. All citizens are obliged with immediate effect to make contact with their approved health provider to arrange to receive a one-time vaccination against a range of biological and chemical agents. There is no charge for this implant. Failure to comply will result in unlimited prison term. Are we not talking about this now? You can believe what you want. Blue beam, blackjack, drones. You can say it's fucking Santa in the sky. I honestly don't care at this point. What I'm trying to get y'all to understand is this. Whatever is going on, it has been known for some time. This is not new information. This is not anything that we haven't heard of. They have shown you this in countless movies, countless books, countless TV shows. Jericho, for God's sakes, Civil War, Leave the World Behind, Red Dawn, Soylent Green, Clockwork Orange, They Live, Independence Day. It's so much propaganda pushed out to y'all to where there's no reason you shouldn't believe it, but because it's propaganda and you don't know no better, you took it as it was just a story. The sum of all fears? Come on, guys. We gotta be able to see this stuff, man. That's all I'm saying. And if clearly there's been some type of issue, we should have known a long time ago, but no one's gonna believe it. As I read this out, and trust me, all this stuff I've already covered. I've covered, if you start seeing stuff in the sky, I'm gonna tell you it's blue beam. I did that last year. This is like the third or fourth blue beam that I've had to do to explain that what you think is happening is not what you think it is. At some point, we need to start assuming it's us. There's no other way around it now. There's a huge chance that it's us. And I just don't know any other way to tell you. That's just me. So I can put this info out here, but look what's going on. You see this? I can put this info out here, but this info is very similar to what we have going on right now all around the world. This is going, all this rioting and protesting, this is going on everywhere in the world. France has been at it for so long, I didn't forget how long they've been fighting. Israel's at it. Germany just collapsed allegedly, and I think France just collapsed. So, I mean, if the governments are collapsing, South Korea just tried to pull a coup d'etat on itself 2 weeks ago, guys. The world is crumbling, and they're going to find a way to unite it on one global scale. It really could be a coordinated attack, and then on top of that, it gets so bad that blue beam happens and everyone's like, I knew it, the second coming of Jesus, he's here. And you fall for it, and they start being like, hey, we need you to get this vaccine and this and that because there's aliens, and we need you to make sure that you don't have the alien virus. And they're gonna do something insane, find a way to make people sick. I'm not gonna say how they're gonna do it because I'm not trying to get flagged. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get flagged for this show today. But what I'm saying is that the propaganda is out there, and when you come to this video later on and you see it, you're gonna be like, huh, ain't that something? And I'm gonna be here again to let you know that it's not what you think. We're all in this psyop together. Pay attention, because there's something that's about to follow after this, and it's coming very, very, very soon. And to be honest, if there was a spectacle that need to be taken, it's going to be around Christmas and New Year's, because those are the most religious days in America besides Easter. Be honest, most active and religious, Christmas and New Year's. See, outside of this news that I'm talking about, the Pope has already announced that he's going to open 5 portals as part of a ritual, a Catholic ritual, during the Saturnalia, which isn't Catholic, it's pagan, and actually not pagan, it's actually more of the Mithras, whatever. But they're going to open 5 portals on this week of going into Christmas, and then they're going to open the door to an old prison that has a portal in it. I need you all to put your damn thinking caps on and understand that these people are playing a game we know nothing about. And if you don't want to believe in the deep state, I'm not going to make you believe in the deep state. That's not my job. What my job is to do is to give you this information in a conducive manner without all the distractions that I have in my show with sound. All right. So I've been using, a whole new software, not a new software, but I'm plugging in the stuff. So the sound is in transition. But today's show, I hope, doesn't fall on deaf ears because of the errors. I just want you to understand that there's a lot going on out here, and there's a lot of propaganda that's already pointed at what's going on. Now, it's on you to believe it. I'm not going to force it, but I can pull out a lot of stuff and show you this. And what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to put it in the chat. Boom. This is Operation Blackjack, and I want you guys to understand something. It's been out for a while. Give me a second. I'm just putting stuff in here. So you guys pay attention to these drones. Understand that it's never what you think it is. And you can never take them at face value, because if you did, you would miss the actual trick that was happening in front of you with the deep state. And I know we say the deep state a lot, but it's a term that's kind of accepted now that, the media is saying it out loud, the deep state, the deep state, the deep state, to kind of get ahead of us talking about them. But That's what we call them, the deep state. Call them the Illuminati. You can call them the secret families. You can call them whatever the hell you want to. Fact of the matter is they're all on the same damn team. I'll say that much. I know what I did wrong. So because I'm going through my talk studio, so I got my virtual camera up, what I should have done was give the screen to that one, but I didn't. I did it through my desktop, and I assume that's why. So we're probably just gonna rock out with my Streamlab desktop and just share the page on one of the either pages on the Rabbit Hole or the Deep State Talk Show. So there's 5 parts to this. Here you go. So yeah, what's gonna have to happen is that we understand that this is all a psyop, and unfortunately, they can't fake everything in a psyop. They actually have to. There's gonna be casualties. There's gonna be mass casualties. If you guys believe that they're looking for a dirty bomb, sure. If you guys want to remember ask how the ammonium nitrate leaked out of a train, sure, no problem. You want to ask where all the drones are coming from? By all means, go ahead. But with all those questions you're asking, you better ask yourself who's making it happen. And if we're one of the nosiest countries in the world besides Israel, how is it that all of this is skating past our nosy ass government, who's clearly spying on all of us, but can't seem to locate the drones, can't seem to figure out where the drones are at, can't seem to identify the drones. Sorry. So it's a real question right now as to why they don't know anything and why we're not getting any answers. But I can assure you that I can definitely assume that there's going to be more issues to come. With Operation Blackjack, I need you to understand this. They even predict the rising of the people against the government. Listen to this. Despite the efforts of the UNA regime, old flags are flown openly and there is talk of revolution. We are losing the situation in state after state. Supplementing the police with military assets is having a limited effect. Why? Because it's a lot of us. Whole cities are going up in flames. Immediate action is needed, and if we aren't to lose the whole country. We recommend the impartial implementation of phase 3. So what are they going to do again? So this time they were going to basically load up another Jiffy van, real familiar. I'm not saying they happened in 1995 in Oklahoma, but I'm saying that they were about to try to do that again, right? All right. So they chose Boston as the asset, but within the teardrop group, all right, they got Boston police in there. So basically, they try, but they get busted this time. Watch this. And all hell breaks loose. Biggest lie in the history of the world. Cop sees nuke bound for Boston and it's made in the UNA. We call upon unit commanders and refuse any UNA orders and await instructions from legitimate governments. So now they have taken back the government, and this is what y'all are talking about. The whole MAGA thing, the whole QAnon. Listen, PSYOP, here it is. This is it. This was Obama's tenure too. This is Obama's presidency. Understand what I'm showing you right now. 2009 is Obama's presidency, people, for God's sakes. If we all sat here and heard the same stories and said that he was going to usher in some type of cataclysmic event, I assure you it would be a stretch to show this in a paper in 2009. It'd be a stretch. Listen to this. We have been sold a monstrous lie. Tests on the bomb show that it came not from China or Iran or Syria, but from within the so-called UNA. They show that our government is corrupt and illegitimate, and you need to return our units home, gentlemen. Listen, this is the same thing y'all are talking about. This is the same exact thing. This is the same stories in 4chan and 8chan right now. Do y'all understand that? This is 2009. So you're telling me right now, either this is MAGA, someone resisting and just putting out a funny mock government thing, or they were really telling us what they're about to attempt. I'm sorry, we can't have it both ways. We cannot believe what I'm saying, but believe in karmic debt. If you understand that they're trying to absolve themselves and they put stuff out so that it maybe don't hit us as hard, man, listen, this is the biggest clue right here. We can't have it both ways. We're either going to believe it or not believe it, or know the deep state is there and be real about it, because there's too many clues and too many ways to see that you can see clearly what they're thinking with this. This is a mock simulation done by the UK government in the UK paper. So clearly they mapped this out. I would be so much to understand that maybe this is in America's paper, but I couldn't find it. See, I had to go on Firefox to find this. It's real hard to find it on other websites for the censoring reasons. What I'm saying right now is this. I need y'all to stop playing. Understand, they've already mapped this idea out. They already know they already know. It makes sense for this exact reason. Because if they know they're gonna have a bad reaction to it or a bad fallout from it, it would behoove you to get ahead of it. And how would you get ahead of it? You're gonna have to scare us for us to not do what this story is talking about. Because the moment something happens with our government, we are going to immediately sense something is wrong. The only way that they can get away with this is if they divert your attention and show you aliens or the second coming of Jesus. Because this conflict or whatever they're attempting, the same self-containment camps that they're talking about in Blackjack are the same FEMA camps we're talking about in real life. The same illegitimate president that was in this story is going to be the same illegitimate president we talk about in our real life story. It is the same illegitimate presidency that they've been talking about for the last 2 terms. Trump's term and Biden's first term were both considered illegitimate presidencies. Stop it. They're both playing you. Democrat was illegitimate. Republican was illegitimate. They're going to turn around and find nothing. Biden took documents home as vice president, which is illegal. Trump took documents home as president. Not illegal, but frowned upon. Neither one are in trouble. Trump is going to beat these cases regardless if they say he's not exempt from the hush money case. It don't matter. He's the president. Biden just pardoned Hunter Biden after everyone screamed he was going to prison. Stop with the distractions. For God's sake, stop. Left wing, right wing, same bird. I'm telling you, this is real. Operation Blackjack is up and running. Dark winter is real. Why would they do it when it's cold? Because you're less likely to fight back because you're cold and you're going to be hungry. And that is the most soul draining time of the year where they do their rituals. Starting from October 31st to January 1st, we are in so many different rituals. We don't know it. And we are expending so much money and energy around that time of the year. That will be the same time of the year that something go wrong. Y'all gonna be cold, you're gonna be hungry, and you're gonna beg for that solution, and it's gonna be our enslavement. I guaranteed you. I guarantee if you do not listen, you are gonna buckle, you're gonna get hungry, it's gonna be cold, and they're gonna tell you the same thing they said in this story. Take this one time chip, or you're going to prison, and y'all gonna do it. because we're spoiled in America. We have our privileges, and no one actually believes to a full extent that this shit is going on. But there are so many breadcrumbs and so many hints and gems that I don't understand how no one sees what's going on. Every week for the last 4 years, every day, every week, every month for the last 4 years, it has been a shit show. We have new reports. We have people going down. We have CEOs disappearing. We have so much going on, pointing at clearly there's a problem. We can see it in the movie, but we can't see it in real life. Prime example. In the beginning of 2012, right before the big earthquake happened, what were they doing to all the people that knew and said something? They were knocking their ass off. 2024, here we are, and you're noticing a lot of people disappearing and going out of nowhere. You're noticing a lot of distractions, and you're starting to ask more questions that they cannot actually answer without incriminating themselves. We've had the conversation of dudes. No one believed they were real. You called them Jewish space lasers and thought it was funny until I showed you the report of UK introducing dudes on military vehicles now. The Navy has a railgun, which is a direct energy weapon. But we were crazy when we said something about Lahaina. Crazy, right? We were crazy when we said something about HARP and weather modification. And here we are with Helene damaging areas heavy with lithium mines. And I assure you, the lawsuit that Alabama has with BlackRock, I guarantee we're probably going to catch a hurricane or some type of catastrophic storm real fucking soon. We keep telling you guys what's going on and pointing a finger at stuff so you can maybe research it, but it's falling on deaf ears because you're still chanting for Kamala and Trump. And I understand why you're chanting for Trump, because he resonates with you and he makes you feel warm and fuzzy on the inside. I get it. But I would like for you to not ever be deceived. Please remember, that man is a legacy child. His family has a legacy in America. He is not like us. He's very personable, but he is not like us. Now, how you take this information is entirely on you. You can believe the QAnon nonsense. You can be MAGA all day. But what I'm telling you, in 2009, they already told you the government was going to try to fuck you. And they've been telling us this for a while. The Running Man, Hunger Games. What is it? Demolition Man. Total Recall. Wanted. There's so many movies where they tell you with predictive programming what they're actually thinking towards us. And if you pay attention to what the movies have been the last couple years, it's seeming more and more intense. None of the alien movies they ever show you are pleasant, with the exception of Mac and Me, E.T., and Paul. And maybe Alien, the Jeff Goldblum movie where he was an alien with girls. There's a couple other movies, but most of the alien movies they've shown you have all been the worst case scenario. They're going to invade us. So when they show up, and we think they show up, we're going to be petrified and unite amongst each other. They show us that every time. Have you ever noticed that they never show us aliens that are actually there for our betterment? You don't find that weird? You ever find it strange that Leave the World Behind in Civil War may be the actual same scenario? Did that not dawn on anybody that Leave the World Behind and Civil War are in the same universe? That's the same thing. Earth girls are easy. Thank you, Daniel. Listen, Civil War and Leave the World Behind are the same incident. 2 different time frames. See what I'm saying? It happened on the East. Both of them are on the East Coast, guys. You know that, right? Think about that. They're both on the East Coast. Same scenario. Coup d'etat. Infrastructure goes down. Conflict. Comms went out. Clearly there was an EMP because there were planes going down, but the TV, it wasn't a complete EMP because the TVs were still working. The radios were still working. So that means whatever was knocking those planes out of the sky happened in the sky. So that should tell you something. In Civil War, it was complete chaos, and the West had already broken off and went after the other side. Think about it. They are telling you what they're thinking every time. Mad Max too. Mad Max is another one. Yeah. They have been telling us for some time that they're going to try something. For so long, they've been telling us. And I'm pretty convinced we're in that stage, but we're not there yet. Why? Because 2030 is still, say, 5 years away, because this month is over. We'll say 2030 is 5 years away. So we still have time. So the big incident that I'm talking about, the coordinated event, it's coming probably sometime next year. I don't think we're going to get it this year. I don't think it's going to happen this year. 2025 is going to be interesting and it's going to be insane. I did not have drones on my conspiracy board. What I'm telling you is that whatever's happening, it's coming. They are not stopping it. They are not stopping the drones. We know they can stop the drones with a push of a button. I don't know what else to tell you. They have technology that can stop things. They have technology that can literally, man, y'all just don't understand, guys. Like the stuff in DARPA, if any of these drones are flying, I'm blaming DARPA. These are DARPA creations. And they know it. I'm not saying they're all drones. I'm not saying they're UAPs or aliens. I'm saying they're up to no good. And it's gonna involve us. And I need you guys to be aware that you see this map: Portland, LA, Toronto, Washington, DC, and New York. Also London, Mexico City, like I said, and all over in the European Union and all that also is gonna happen also. Listen, it's a mass coordinated attack, but it was found to be the leaders, because I've always told you incidents like this, or just mass confusion and chaos, takes mass organization and mass structure to orchestrate. Anything that we're talking about is going to require mass structure and organization and funding. It will not happen on a whimsical idea that one day we look outside and there is a damn alien in the sky. People, they may be already in the sky watching us quietly. And I would assume so, because you can bend light. If they can bend light and blend in, they've been probably sitting there for some time. America already knows this. This is why they showed you the men in black. In the men in black, they told you they had been here for some time. They had a whole organization because of it. You don't. America doesn't get this far without leadership. Oh my God. Let's take some messages, guys, because I see you guys popping up. Paige says, I'm more interested in the orbs and what is the Vatican opening these portals December 24th? One door is right by Lucifer's. Daniel says 1986 War Games movie. That was a good one. Paige, we talked about the orbs earlier. Here's my thing about the Vatican and what I was saying about what they're doing right now. You don't find it strange that in one of the most heightened energy points in America, the Christmas holidays, all this is when they do their biggest rituals, right? All right, let's pivot. I'm gonna pivot with you. I'm done with blackjack. I put the link in there. Let's pivot. All right, let's pivot. So the orbs that they're talking about releasing are not the orbs. The orbs that they're talking about right now, they're saying the drones are following. The rituals that the Pope wants to do are opening the portals. These aren't really new rituals. They used to do them, but they stopped. Now they want to open up 5 doors, and one of them is a prison, prison to a portal, or prison portal, whatever you want to call it. But it's allegedly Satan's prison. Now, what's also funny is that in Bluebeam, they would talk about saying basically they would start opening doors and sarcophagus and different things like that and start announcing it, right? These are things that would be part of Bluebeam, the spiritual side to kind of pull it in. Now that they've opened up they're getting ready to open up portals, they're going to try this whole thing of scaring everybody, in my honest opinion. Now, the problem is that there is a such thing as opening portals. I don't want to say that's fake because it's not. Like, I'm not even going to play with you. I can say a lot of things but opening portals, no, that's definitely real. They got a whole book on it. I mean, you can read the book of demonology. It's in there. The alchemy portals are in there. The Emerald Tablet portals are in there. The Book of Enoch portals are in there. You go to the CERN website, they tell you they open up portals. They already figured out how to open them up again with CERN. Portals are not fake. Portals are real. He's opening them because if you understand religion, you understand that this is God's realm, not God's realm. This is the devil's realm. This is the lowest plane on the totem pole, right? There's levels. He got knocked out of heaven to the lowest level. He wasn't at the highest level. He was at a level above this one. He got put out and he got left here. And this has been Satan's rule, or Saturn's day. This is why Satan is the dude of justice and law. Like, what are we ruled by, right? So when the Vatican is talking about opening portals, we all understand that angels may be interdimensional beings or interdimensional entities with no body. The body died, but the energy lasted, and it's in another plane. Well, the Pope, who's a certified, I guess you could call him a certified warlock or a certified devil worshiper, whatever you want to call him, he has books, he has information, and he can see what's going on. The interdimensional beings need a body. Listen, I know it sounds crazy. If demonic possession is real, and there are confirmed and documented exorcisms and removing entities from the human body, how easy do you think it would be for that same entity to take an artificial symbiotic robot's body? The existence of artificial intelligence blended through extra-dimensional beings. Because if we're the vessels for our being, our soul, if we're the vessel, if the Vatican understands that our body is the vessel, and when we die, our energy or our soul leaves, that means we can move around from body to body, however this is supposed to work. So that clearly means demonic possession is not ruled out from an artificial body. There's no way possible. No way possible. And I'm going to tell you why. Because think about it. Every robot movie you ever seen, the robot end up what? Getting his own existence. Self-awareness. Okay? To us, that sounds like it's really cool. But if you think about it, you're actually giving an entity that's not allowed to possess a human form anymore. That is their punishment or their crime, to where they cannot possess a human body. They can be pushed out. How are you going to push it out of a robot? I'm still one to think that the Cabbage Patch children were the first vessels for these people. It said in the Bible, the first man born without a soul, the world would basically end. In so many loose translation words, I don't know the fucking scripture. I read it. I just don't know the scripture name, but The first man born without a soul would sign the end of times for man. That sounds like transhumanism. That sounds like the vessel is empty. So now something can take it and go forward. Because when you're born with your own soul. See, sometimes they slip through the cracks and they get you while you're coming out as a baby and you become a serial killer for all I know. I don't know. Speculation. Some people are born cold and heartless. Don't ask me why. Nature over nurture. Study in psychology, also the study of the soul. All right? But you got to understand something. Demonic possession is real too. I'm not finna, there's things I play around with and there's things I don't play around with. Demonic possession is real. Shit. Portals are real. Ghosts are real. Interdimensional beings are real. You can play that game if you want to, but we've all felt the hair on our neck stand up for no reason. We can all feel energy when we go into a room that don't feel right. I put salt down at my door because I'm scared of witches. Do I look like I'm playing around? I really do put salt in front of my door. There's things I don't play with. I am from the deep South. Hoodoo and voodoo is real. Just like Christianity has its own form of spelling and magic, just like Islam has its own form of spelling and magic, and just like Judaism, Kabbalism, and anything else that was a religion has some type of spelling and magic to it. I don't play with certain stuff. I'm not stupid. I read too much for that. And clearly, if everyone agrees in the Holy Spirit, I find it strange how no one can assume that the Spirit can inhabit anything. We've seen movies where spirits have inhabited dolls, rocks, guns, glasses, objects. You want me to believe that this entity couldn't take the vessel of a hybrid mechanical human being? Symbiotic fluid, which they've already figured out, to give it its own consciousness and its own vessel through the internet. Come on, guys. Come on, man. Y'all can't pick what you believe and don't believe in. And that's my whole point to a lot of this. I need y'all to stop doing that. And I'm not saying to the people in the comments, but I'm talking to a lot of people right now who may listen or not listen. I don't know who's watching a lot of times. But I'm going to tell you this. There's no way you can sit here and say you believe in the Holy Spirit, catch the Holy Ghost, go all this and say the Spirit came into me, but you don't believe in you don't believe that a spirit can take a robot. That's unfair. That's completely unfair. That's like saying you believe in extraterrestrial life, but you don't believe in aliens. And I've heard that one. Like, I don't think aliens are what we think they are. I've never seen an alien. You probably have and didn't know it. I got a whole story for that one. Like, we can't straddle the fence on some of these things, man. Like, it's blowing my mind how we can accept the Christianity and the Catholicism and the faith, but you don't want to accept the evolution of what that turns into. That's what blows my mind. Like, you can accept that the stories are there, but you can't accept that the stories are playing out again. This is exactly why we're in this situation. 100 years ago, somebody bought the United States of America for millions of dollars from the lower tier families. Till this day, people still think America is running on its own government. People, you have been lied to. I don't listen. When Roswell, New Mexico happened, people questioned it. People questioned it. And when Roswell, New Mexico happened, I want to say promptly the Air Force really got established, right? See where I'm going? And yeah, sure, we could say the World War II is the reason why the Army Air Reserve became the Air Force. That's a beautiful cover story. I love it because that's partially true. As Air Force, that is true. But in the same breath, when Roswell, New Mexico happened, guess who was covering the whole incident? Army Air Reserves, which would have been the Air Force, which was also partnered with who? NASA. Yeah, think about it. And in the end, what did they tell you? They found 3 bodies. 2 of them were mangled and gone, and one survived, and they had a conversation with it. Now, that's all speculation. I'll admit that, even though it was reported back then and redacted in its own newspaper, but it was true. Now, what we're trying to figure out now is if those little people they were talking about were actual aliens, or were they the interdimensional beings in their own bodies that they could use. See, they don't really see. You always notice that they always have abilities. They can read minds. They can do this. They can do that. So did the Nephilim and the giants and the Watchers. I'm like I said, we can't talk about religion and aliens and act like they don't exist in the same story. The aliens and the angels may be the same exact damn people. And I've said that numerous times. I've had my discussions about the Book of Enoch. I'm pretty convinced aliens and angels are the same exact thing, but they don't want to tell us that. Because if you go look in a lot of lost books, there's a lot of demonic possession going on. There was a lot of soul taking and body swapping that they don't mention. Jesus has a body swapping story. Think about it. He has a body swapping story. Does he not? Jacob, Yakub, the big head scientist, Yakub walks around in Canaan. He has a body swapping experience and a name changing experience. He goes from Yakub or Jacob, because his brother was Esau. He fights the angel on the way out of the land of Canaan, fights the angel all night, wins the fight, and becomes Israel. Funny, right? And that's who these people seem to name themselves after. I need y'all to stop picking sides right now. It's stupid. I'm gonna be honest. You're picking sides to the same story. That's what my problem is with a lot of the stuff that I say out loud. And when people get upset or I get like trolled online, like people want to act like I'm just making this shit up. I'm not making this stuff up. It's in everything that we're reading. Horus, Krishna, who else was it? Jesus. I forget the other name in another form in another culture. It's the same group of people. Baal and Moloch. Baal is not a person. That's the person. That's the thing they got y'all with. Moloch and Baal are the same person. Baal means Lord. Moloch is his name. His name is Lord Moloch or Bamalik. It's the Santa and Satan are the same person. I just can't explain things anymore because they're repackaging stories and giving it to you. And I assure you, when they decide to do whatever they do, whether it's coordinated attack or mass blue beam incident, I assure you, they are the ones behind it, because no entity in his right mind would show up to this country and pull the shit that they're about to pull. It would literally be more like what you would see in movies. Instead, it seems like someone's working against us, and transhumanism, along with these portals, is about to play out. And I'm going to tell you how it's going to play out. Here's the truth. Here's the whole truth of how this is going to play out. And I'm probably going to catch some slack for this. It's not just the robots that they're looking for. It's the ones changing their genders too. It's the medication that's killing your soul. It's the programming dulling out your pineal gland so that you can't think straight. They're turning you into an antenna. You're turning yourself into you were already an antenna. You have distorted your own frequency. We are, as a whole, including myself, distorting our own frequencies at times and making us susceptible to low vibration entities. What's gonna happen? I'm telling you right now what's gonna happen. The whole blue beam incident, bullshit. They are trying to usher in the most demonic, satanic shit that you can think of, and they're gonna use us as the guinea pigs. They are gonna give as many souls up as possible. That is the name of the game, to collect as many souls as possible. The only way you can collect that many souls is if you dumb them down, poison them, and lower their vibration, because we vibrate naturally at about 432. I think. It's not 440, it's not 442, it's like 432. So if they can destroy your mental, your physical, your spiritual, and your emotional, it makes you susceptible to lower dimension behavior, drinking, fornicating, doing questionable things, getting yourself involved. Then you get on more medication, you start numbing yourself, and you lose who you are and you become something else. This is how demonic possession works. You watch the horror movies, they run the families ragged with stress, and by the end of the week, one of them is so weakened that the entity takes hold of the body and starts tormenting people. What in the whole hell do you think the Pope is trying to do by opening 5 fucking portals on the most ritualistic time of the year known to man? The Saturnalia is one of the most ritualistic areas of our existence right now. From the Day of the Dead to the Saturnalia to the beginning of the real New Year in April, Mardi Gras, all of that stuff, Ash Wednesday, all of that stuff goes into each other. They're all rituals tying in. We are doing rituals. Stop it. You cannot straddle the fence and be a child of God, but in the ritual, that's not the child of God. It doesn't make sense. You cannot sit here and do both. This is why you don't hear me. Look, guys, I'm not religious. I'm not. I just don't play about certain stuff. Like I can't sit here and be the person that I am and be a Christian at the same time. It's not possible. Christianity is part of the reason that led me down these rabbit holes. You don't find it strange every first of the month in Christianity you got to eat the flesh and drink the blood? That's cannibalism. When Noah got off the ark, when Moses crossed the Red Sea, do you know what they typically told them to not do? Drink blood and eat flesh. Why are we doing it? He told Noah when he got off the boat and the flood was over, the only rule, no rituals, no sacrifices, no drinking blood. We see that did not go well. We cannot have it both ways. You cannot, it's real hard to straddle that line with Blue Beam and all of this that I'm talking about. And it's not just the portals that I mean by you can't straddle. We're all straddling the fence right now because we really don't want this problem. But the problem is here. The problem is to us because years ago, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, if you got out of pocket and people found out, I assure you they were coming for you. Now, that's the last thing they want to do. See, and this is why the whole incident with the United Health CEO is funny to me, because you got people out here talking about, yeah, stick it to them, but still go eat McDonald's. I'm guilty. I like cigarettes. I like a nice wine every now and then. I don't think that's the problem. I think the overindulgence is kind of the problem. McDonald's is a whole problem. You got to stop eating that. But it's like saying it's bad. It's not bad enough. But they're telling you what this is leading to. Do you think it's a coincidence that there are drones in the sky as soon as Trump took office? Do you not find it just a hair strange that Biden wants to pardon people who haven't even been convicted yet? Is it not weird to you the Pope wants to open 5 portals at the most lowest point in human history for our vibration? We vibrate lower when it's cold. You know that, right? That's why a lot of, you can catch people in conflict when it's cold because they're less likely to do something. Typically, that's why they would like to go to war in the spring. The deaths won't be as bad. You won't die from the injury and the flu. The winter is the most lowest vibration time of the year, and this is when we eat. The whole ritual was we eat, we fornicate, we party, Mardi Gras, and then we say our thanks for making it. Get out of the winter. We have Mardi Gras. Then after Mardi Gras, we repent, Ash Wednesday, and then we're supposed to be cleaned and forgiven for being a heathen since October. So from October to March, February, March, which changes every year, you're allowed to be a heathen, and then you can repent, put an ash on your forehead, give up something for 3 weeks, and back at it. Why do you think this is set up? It's not set up for us. They're harvesting our souls and energy through this. That's for them, because they have to at some point acknowledge that they're horrible people. So that's why they put on the mask and they go do things, eyes wide shut. You go to one of those parties, everyone got on the mask, but it's a giant orgy. So nobody knows what's going on. Daniel, there's nothing wrong being a heathen. There's nothing wrong being. Listen, I tell people every day I'm a heathen. I'm not finna act like I'm some pseudo religion. I'm not. I grew up in Christianity, First Baptist. I was raised in the church. I was in the choir. I was on junior usher board duty. I went to Sunday school. I went to vacation Bible school during the summer, sometimes against my will, but I still went. I did all of that. And all it did was make me ask more questions that no one wanted to answer. So guess what? I just started learning on my own and realized that shit, Christianity and paganism is the same thing. At least some of the rituals that they're doing and the holidays they've given us, they're pagans. There's nothing wrong being a pagan. Pagan doesn't mean you're a devil worshiper. Worshipping the devil makes you a devil worshiper. Pagans aren't bad people, man. Pagans were people who worship trees because it gave them fruit. People would kill an animal and thank praise that they could feed their family. That's a pagan. Pagans aren't just devil worshippers. Pagans are people who look at the spiritual side of what the world was giving them. It would rain and they would quote the rain gods. The rain god just so happened to be the damn devil too. Go fucking figure. Raised missionary Baptist youth rally president. Oh, I remember those days, man. I used to be so upset I'm like, why do I have to do? Because it looks good. Part of the church. Yeah, okay. Churches get the biggest tax break in the world. Everybody wants to go in there with their big hats, big wallets, big Holy Spirits, catch the Holy Ghost, hey, and act a fool in there. All while to get out of here and go do heathen shit all week long and come back and do it again. Just be a heathen. You could be a heathen with morals. That don't mean you have to be a horrible person. Be a heathen. Shit. Romans were heathens. Look how far it got them. Look at our presidents. They're heathens. They got y'all thinking they out here. Stop. These people are heathens. These people believe in heathen ways. Stop. Stop. This is what I'm talking about. We act like America acts like everyone in America, for the most part, does have an entitlement, including myself. I'm from America. I wasn't born in Africa. Most of my family is from here, and then my great grandmother was from America. And as everyone ever says, my great grandma was Native American. Mine was, and I'm not talking about like the $5 one. She was a dark skinned one, fair skin. Take that back, fair skin. What I remember, I was very young when she passed. People in America have an entitlement when it comes to what we are. And we think we are better than others, but we're absolutely not. We just have big trucks and big houses. And I love America. I don't have a problem with America. I like some of our privileges. I'm not going to lie to you. But I do think there's things we need to fix deeply, deeply fix. Like, I'm not finna sugarcoat it. I ain't mad at getting rid of the Department of Education. That motherfucker sucks. Marcus, why would you say let's get rid of the Department of Education? People have been going to school since the age of 6. They graduated at 18. When they graduated at 18, from there, they really don't have any comprehension skills anymore, or critical thinking, nor are they reading anymore. You have failed. The point of sparking minds is to evolve and change. You have literally, the Department of Education has taken the minds of America, and the ones that grow in that system, they come over through the sororities and the fraternities, and they get pushed into the workforce for the other side. The rest of us who get out of high school and have no idea, stop reading, don't critically think, and don't have common sense. And this is why we're in the situation we're in right now. The Department of Education has failed America. They are the ones who have been teaching Americans for the last 100 years. They are the reason why we should be able to critically think and comprehend whatever we're reading. We cannot comprehend, nor do we critically think. Because if we did, we would have not sat here and said, as the Black community, that Kamala is the answer. You are out of your mind. You are out of your mind if you said Biden was the answer. And quite frankly, you're pretty close to being out of your fucking mind for thinking Trump was any better. Because critically thinking would show you that this man was once a huge donor to the Democratic Party. And if you want to sit here and act like he did not know, that's real hard fucking to believe. I'm just going to keep it so honest with you. So when I say we're playing this weird game of who lesser of two evils, they're still evil. The fact that y'all can't decipher that lets me know the Department of Education failed all of us. And for the ones who slip through the cracks and still can critically think 20 years after graduation, 40 years after graduation, that means that it just didn't have an effect on you. Something in history sparked your imagination, and you went looking deeper and you found more information. And the hunger for the enlightenment of information drove you to what we are today. Tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists who just so happen to be fucking right on about 75% of the shit coming out of our mouth. Because 75% of it has been going on for the last 100 years. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I'm all for the Department of Education disappearing. Redo it. That motherfucker sucks. The Rockefellers bought it. They failed at it. Anybody who says they succeeded in the Department of Education, I just don't buy it. Congratulations. I still tell my son, good job for doing your work, for doing your job in school. But I also tell my son to have an imagination and still read and go do things like a normal child. I will not sit here and act like this making straight A's is like a measure of how you're going to do in life. That's actually not what the fuck that is. The truth is, making straight A's says you take directions and you can regurgitate really well. That's all that really means. Because if they were really grading you on something, they would bring back home ec and wood shop and plumbing and car work and mechanics and show people how to do stuff again, and not sit here and push them towards this stupid ass debt in the college system, which universal knowledge should be free. Universal knowledge should be free. It's universal knowledge to push the human race into better evolution. The fact that they are gatekeeping information lets me know how strong that information is, and we wouldn't need them if we knew what was really what. As far as spiritually, metaphysically, the alchemy, whatever you want to call it, if we really understood what was going on and how to use it, we wouldn't need them. The only issue we would have is, are humans going to do something stupid like go to war with it? Because there's always dumbasses who are going to be like, I am a god, and then they got to go do shit and blow up stuff, and then someone got to kill them, and then we're back to square fucking one. And it's going to be a religious nut, guaranteed, because God gave them that power. Nah, that wasn't God. That was just your DNA activating. You got all the poisons out, and your evolution kicked in. That's just evolution. God is already, the spirit is already in us. Spirit's in us. We're supposed to look inward. How do you know? Because they make us look outward. We pray to an outside deity. We don't look inside ourselves and think and use our heart, our brain, and our gut. There are 3 things lined up, 4 really. If you want to say 6 or 7 with the whole chakra thing, but to be fair, if you listen to your own inner thoughts, if you have one, and you understand what you're feeling, then you would know when something is right and is wrong. When I was young, I didn't have to be told punching a little kid in the face is wrong. It just felt wrong. I didn't have to be told that, murder is wrong. Hurting animals is wrong. Why would I want to hurt an animal? I see a cat, I want to pet it. I didn't have to be told that, because most of us are born with a moral compass. It's the ones who aren't born with a moral compass that we have a problem with. And even the ones with the moral compass don't think straight all the time. Your compass could be broken. The frequency could be off. And that's usually why your compass isn't working. Crazy. It's real simple. Real simple thought process. I don't want to seem condescending. I don't like to seem condescending to you guys, or like I'm patronizing you or anything like that. But it is really funny how, like, they tell us all this information in the book, in the good book, and we don't take it, and we just rock out with it. It's weird to me. We don't accept it, but we read it and we present ourselves as holy as thou, but we don't actually live by it. It's crazy. Oh, been over my time limit. Paige and Daniel, it's all your fault. Paige was like, talk about the orbs, damn it. Talk about the portals opening. Get to the juicy stuff. Juiciness. Went on a damn rant just because it's too obvious. A lot of the stuff and a lot of the information is already there. We just don't accept it, or we don't think it's real, which is weird because we're praying to something we can't see and we don't know it's real, but we believe in that, but not in ourselves. And that shit's so weird to me. That's just my biggest thing. It's just weird to me. We believe in everything external from us. We believe in celebrities, politicians, teachers. We believe in all of that. But all of the answers are already laid out in front of us in nature, in our heart, in our stomachs, in our minds, in our pineal gland, in our loins. Our children, our next lineage of legacy is in your loins or in your ovaries. Everything we're asking for is inside of us or around us. Why the hell are you talking to people who only get excited over death and gold? It's just weird. So I'm going to leave you with that thought. Think about it. Why are we looking for external help when internally we are each other's help? Even in Enoch, they said that. In the Bible, they talk about that. Shit, even the Kabbalah says damn unity. The Satanic Church of LA even has unity and togetherness. For God's sakes, people, look inside yourself. Teresa, I could believe that. Bible stands for basic instructions before leaving Earth. Shit, we are not following the rules. So this is what I'm saying. Stop looking for a savior. Stop looking for someone to save us. Community, tapping back into that natural inkling that we have and listening to your gut and pineal gland is in your heart is how we get out of this. And I assure you, it's going to tell you a lot of things. But remember, courage is just fear with extra bravery. You do it in spite of the spite and in spite of the fear. That's what courage is. All right? Have the courage to change, guys. Stop falling for this shit. That's all I'm trying to get y'all to do. And as much as I come up here and rant and rave and seem like a bag of cats, it's okay. I'm all right with being a bag of cats. As long as you're understanding why I'm a bag of cats, because if you're paying attention, this is bad. We're going to have to fix this. I don't know how we're going to fix it, but I got a couple ideas. None of them involve ski mask and poo shiesty mask. At least not yet. Joke, I kid. Calm down, fusion centers. Know you're recording. Be easy. All right. So I'm going to let you guys go. Great afternoon show. Like, share. Please donate to the Daily Rabbit Hole. I'm on all platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Rumble. Deep State Talk Show is on its own page on Facebook. You guys rock out with me. I appreciate you guys. It was a good show. Sorry for the sound difficulties, as always. I'm just going to have to stop using one of these softwares. It is what it is. All right. You guys have a good one. Stay focused. Pay attention. Stop falling for it and stop riding the fence. You have a great day.